every 2 or 3 years, regardless of what, be subdued to having an enema, right? An anal enema where water was forced up into our bellies, and we would excrete everything that was in our bellies out.
And you asked me, did she ever give you one? And I
Right.
said, no, she never gave me one. Protect the procrobation. Proctoprobation. Yes, protect it.
Well, maybe
We have to give a little bit more context as to what we're talking about.
Sure.
We got to explain it.
Sure, absolutely.
So that's the name of the show. Protect the proctoprobation. Probe-ation. Protect the P. We got another P. We got to protect little asses. So why do we say that? Because we were talking, and I consider myself like a naturalist. I consider myself, I rather, and that's a lot of us, herbalists, we rather just find a natural remedy. Not that a lot of the medications don't come from natural sources, or they were discovered, then they made a synthetic.
Correct.
So I'm not mad at your Procter & Gamble's or your Pfizer's or Lilly's. I'm not mad at them because they took something natural and then they took it and they synthesized it, perhaps, and they they could mass produce it.
Yeah.
Maybe
they
more
stable,
right?
More regulated.
And they just did that. So you were telling me about you had gastritis when you were a young boy.
I was telling you, we were talking about natural
remedies, yeah.
Right? That's where it kind of started from.
That's right.
And then I would talk to you about how we would every 2 or 3 years, regardless of what, be subdued to having an enema, right? An anal enema where water was forced up into our bellies, and we would excrete everything that was in our bellies out.
And you asked me, did she ever give you one? And I said, no, she never gave me one.
Well, Dionne, you spent a lot of time at our house, so it wasn't for me.
I'm just telling you, she never did.
That, so.
And I'm so happy my dad did take me over and bring me over. And I'm so happy my mom, not that she could stop the shit because she would have to let us know our people. But you see what I'm saying? She wasn't like, oh no.
You can't go over there.
Right, she wasn't like that at all. So,
hey, your mom adopted me as a son. Your mom thought that was my baby,
So it was. So which was no way she was gonna say we couldn't come over.
Right.
So I guess if I had got a proctor probation, I guess that'd been different.
Yeah, it might have been different. She might have had mama locked up.
What the fuck is she doing, my baby? Somebody's sticking nothing up her ass.
It didn't kill us though.
It didn't kill it. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I had a little bleeding when she was trying to fix something that she couldn't fix with that, and the doctor asked about why was I bleeding out of my rectum, and I'm like, I don't know. Snitches get stitches and kicked out the house. Right?
But you know what? I think she did what she did to who she had to do it to, because I probably would have told. Oh, hell yeah, I would have told. To this day, I don't want to tell. Because if it's something that could help me, and I'm bleeding out my ass, fuck yeah, can you fix this shit? If it's not right, I probably would have told. Like, yeah, I wouldn't have been like, oh, it was forced. I wouldn't have thought any more about it. But I'm like, yeah, this happened. Right. I've always been that type of child, like this. And I tell my sister, and I tell my daughter, I said, you better tell me, because there may be some stuff
you can do something about.
We could do something about. You were telling me about my great aunt, your grandmother, Johnny Peppers. That's what I wanted to call the show. Protect the Peppers. Protect the Peppers. Protect the Peppers. And that entire way of thinking. Now, my dad, he lived with his mom until he was 5. And then when he was 5, he was in Texas. And for whatever reason, my grandmother was not able to handle him or take care of him any longer. So then he came up to Detroit, where her sister, Johnny Peppers, was.
Right.
And that's at that point, you weren't born yet.
No.
You weren't born.
No.
When he was 5.
No, I think your father is, 10 years older than me?
Yeah, okay, so then, but he came up, and then it was Wilma Faye, your mom, and also Mary Joyce.
Mary Joyce, yes.
And then Dwayne, and none of the boys would have been, none of y'all were born at that point when he came up.
The first child, which was Dwayne, was born in 59.
59.
59.
Wow. So he would be, today, he would actually be, I'm 54, 64, 65.
Yeah.
If he had lived. He died. He became addicted to, he died in the streets. Can we just say that?
We can say that.
He died in the streets.
That's not a bad thing to say. It's a real thing to say.
That's just what happened. He died in the streets.
Yeah.
His mom had passed away before that. And
well, she didn't pass away. But
she was killed. She was killed. She was murdered.
She was murdered.
We say by Charles.
Well, he was complicit. According to what we came to know, he was complicit. But he didn't actually.
Oh, he didn't pull the trigger. He didn't pull the trigger.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, then that should make the boys feel better. I mean, the boys, hell, Brian's a grown-ass man older than me.
Well, they were confused. They were at that state of confusion. Dwayne liked flashy stuff, and Dwayne liked her new boyfriend as opposed to Charles. But, the whole idea was that when she shot Charles, that was Charles's way of getting revenge on her. Because she shot him because he was a philanderer, because he went out and he was messing around with women in the choir at the church.
So this is my lesson learned from that, because I remember hearing those stories when I was younger. I was told about it. And my position is this. You're not going to make me that man. I don't give a damn. You're not making me that man. I'm not going to want to kill you. I don't give a damn. Go do your thing. Go do your thing. Now, if you are a man where you are financially supporting me, I'm like, okay, baby, go have at it. And you taking care of everything? I don't give a shit. I really don't. Go ahead.
And Dionne, I got to tell you how much I appreciate you saying that, because I was talking to a friend of mine that I grew up with. There was an next door neighbor, and his name was Orlando. And he absolutely said almost word for word what you just said in terms of rationale.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to tell him is that when you came from the South, there were certain rules you played by. And those rules, Mama inculcated into her daughters. They was playing by the same rules.
I get it. I totally get it.
We're raised by that environment, right?
And keep in mind, my mom stayed with my dad. But I'm telling you, to this right now, Dionne at 54 would say, if I'm married, and I'm going to get married again, and if he is who I think he is, man, if he cheat on me, have at it, motherfucker. Have at it. I'm okay with it. I don't have to pay for anything. I can still, all I want to be is a rich, beautiful woman who lets me have, married to a wealthy man who lets me have my way. Now, you let me do that, and you got to go, because at this point, I figure he's going to be older than me. Ain't too much fucking going on. I can't imagine that much going on. So whatever. You didn't find somebody who want to do something and perhaps that I'm not going to do.
That's right.
Have at it. I'm okay. But see, I'm not at that 20 in my 20s, right?
Right.
So my way of thinking is a whole lot different.
Right.
But I'm trying to get my daughter, I want to incorporate my 54-year-old thinking, my 50-year-old thinking, my 45-year-old thinking into her now, that we don't fight over no man, we don't kill him, we just gonna let that shit go. Do what you gotta do.
That's right.
And let's look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is he a provider Can you do this? Can you do that? Don't bring no diseases, or don't bring no disease we can't get cured. And then it's normally a natural remedy for everything. So just, if you happy with him, if he not beating on you, now if he beating on you and causing you mental, emotional problems, then we got a problem. But if it's just on some fuck shit, man, go fine.
And you know what? I
okay.
totally agree. One thing that I don't know if we could ever impart on anyone is what happens when you get love struck. Because love struck will make you see crooked. It'll make you see backwards. It'll make you see something that you absolutely are not seeing. And those are the things that really start to teach us about relationships, you know, when we go through that first upsetting situation.
But is that because that's what we were taught? What if we were taught, listen, you gonna do this, she gonna do this, it's gonna be like this, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Opposed to, oh no, that's horrible, horrible, horrible. What if the narrative was, that's just fucking life?
And I think that's what the narrative actually
should be.
Is.
Right, that's what it should be to young people.
But I think there's a chasm you have to cross to get there. You just don't get there by hearing it or by, you know.
I think you just, if you can't, nobody has to tell you. No, you can hear, don't do this. Don't put your finger in that plug. Don't put your finger in that plug. Put your finger, stop. You know not to do that. If you're constantly told, this old fuck shit, teenage fuck shit, 20-year-old fuck shit, because that's what it is. Yeah. It's just fuck shit.
Yeah.
It ain't no
They call it something different, no problem.
They do. But if you were just told that, I think your life would be different. Because my life would have been different. I don't think I would have smoked cigarettes for as long as I did if there weren't, and I don't want to blame it on marketing, if it wasn't like movies and everybody kind of smoking, making that shit look cool. There's a lot of shit that has been that's out here in movies that make that jealous shit look cool. Even now. No, I'm not going to. If I am, first of all, if I'm messing around with a married man, I'm not going to the wife talking shit. I'm gonna play my fucking position and keep my motherfucking mouth shut. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I need to get her to that point. Not that I want her to mess around with a married man, because I say don't do it. I say focus on this. But parents tell their kids that all the time: focus on school. Focus on school. What is the bigger issue? What should we be talking about? So I will say that I haven't. Once I got home last week, it was last week. I'm telling you, I don't even know if I'm coming or going. Right? I don't know. I know where I am. I know I'm in San Diego, but I don't know how long. I know I was just in Barcelona. I think
a week ago.
A week ago, I was in Barcelona. At a rooftop pool at the Intercontinental.
I remember somebody asking me, I said, yeah, my cousin's coming out to visit. And they were like, where is she? I said, yeah, I think she's in Greece right now. I think you know what I'm saying? So, and I was basing that based on what I saw on social media, right? So that might have just been the last time I saw you post on social media.
Where's Dionne?
I got a jet-setting cousin family. You know?
Oh my, and I love it. I truly love it. I love that I have the ability to do it.
And I'm happy for you. And I'm happy for Anaya, too. I'm really happy for her. Because nothing broadens a person more than to see something different than what it is. And that's my opinion. That's just my humble opinion.
To travel. And that was my goal for her. Man, this thing got hot quick, didn't it? Look at this. It's still bubbling. So I'm making this seafood boil. I'm making it in the pressure cooker, and the steam is still letting off. And then I'm going to make a fried rice, which I think I've mentioned several times. I don't know if we were taping. Yeah. I'm going to make this fried rice, and I'm thinking, I got something here. I think it's going to be tasty.
I've only had 2 seafood boils in my life. This will be my 3rd. And I'm anticipating it.
It's going to be delicious. Absolutely delicious. But we were talking about
Proctological exams by our grandmothers.
Proctological exams by our grandmothers.
Or aunties.
Or aunties. I can tell you that neither one of my grandmothers have given me a proctological exam. And my grandmother is Weta.
Oh, yeah.
Webster.
No.
She never gave me one.
No.
And neither did Beatrice Elizabeth Thornton. She never gave me a proctological exam.
And to your point, if we had known that Mama was doing that to me, she might not have allowed her to do it because I was her kid.
Did
I was
they
her
know?
grandmother's kid. Yeah, my mother did. Yeah, she did. My mother couldn't run nothing. My mother just could be subservient. That's how she was. Okay. I'll go get another job so I can do that. Okay. That's the way she was. Her mother ruled her. So the day that her mother died, she ruled my mother. And I'm like, but mama ruled everybody under her roof. It was, besides my brother Ralph. Ralph wasn't married. But everybody else like fall in line.
Well, what was Ralph's birthday? What time was he?
Sagittarius.
Oh, so he wasn't happy.
He wasn't happy. And she threw a knife at my brother one time because she was upset that he wasn't conforming as a grandchild should. But my mother went off and left the details.
I know she did. And you didn't cross the line.
You throw another knife at my child,
I'm
I'll kill you.
gonna beat your mother. We gonna, yeah.
One of those types of conversations.
But no, I heard that Faye and Aunt Johnny would get into it. They would argue. Yeah. So she would stand up for herself.
She would. But she loved her mother and she would forgive very quickly.
Yeah.
She loved her mother and she was like, look, this is just a passing moment in time. We passed this, let's keep moving. We're here for each other. We support each other. We need to make sure we're here. That's just the way it was. After I left, that was it. And she would start depending on people in the neighborhood, and the neighborhood people were coming out taking advantage. And when that was getting back to me, I'm like, okay, you stop letting these people into the house. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
But, you know what? I think Mama stopped doing medicine without having a license to do it after we got, 13, 14 years old.
So it wouldn't happen to me then.
Yeah, well.
It wouldn't happen to me because
you was coming over to my house when you was a little kid.
Yeah, but you. Okay.
I remember you in the crib and crying. I was
but
how
old were you?
6 or 7.
Okay, she wouldn't give me a enema at 6 at a baby.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know when it starts. I don't know if that magic is.
Right. She wouldn't.
I don't think kids gotta have gastritis when they're young, right? Just because of the foods that don't work and the foods that do. If the mother's not, breastfeeding, if she is, so on and so forth. There's a lot of things that go into magic. Gastritis.
Yeah, no, she never did. Aunt Johnny was good to me. Aunt Johnny was good to me. Faye was good to me. You were good to me. Ralph was good to me. Dwayne was good to me. Brian was good to me. Y'all was good to me.
You got the best deal out of it.
I'm telling you, y'all was good to me. I don't have no bad experiences at all where I can be like, no.
You said something that was very pointed today. That every time you said it a couple of times. Shit happens. Life happens, and this is what I may be summarizing, but shit happens in people's lives. But it ain't gonna never stop happening. It's just gonna happen, and we deal with it. You pull your bootstraps up and you deal with it, or you stop the converse of that. I don't know. You know
what? I have to go and address things that happen on cases, and part of the battle, 90% of it is just showing up. Yeah. Just don't ignore it.
Mama sent me to play music, and I took some lessons under the Clark sisters. They got me ready for a church, and I said no. Mama wasn't happy. She had spent all that money me going to Clark Conservatory. I'm like, no. I'm not playing for a church. I'm not doing it.
She tried to make Brian do it, and Brian tried to do it, but Brian would, people would get the Holy Ghost, and he would stop playing the piano and get him to start clapping. And I'm like, oh, Brian, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to keep playing. You know? But yeah, she spent a lot of money on me taking music from the Clark sisters, and they taught well. They were very good teachers.
That's 28.
Yep.
Wow. I had my daughter take lessons. And then the Suzuki method, Suzuki, required you as a parent to also take lessons as well.
Oh,
so that's how I
be supportive of that learning.
Yeah. So when she took violin lessons under the Suzuki method. And I'm learning along with her.
Yeah.
And then she had to take piano lessons. And I took piano lessons and she was taking them too. And then I saw the pattern. I think it's the chord.
You made sense of it.
I made sense of it.
Piano with a P?
Piano with a P!
Right.
Protect the piano! Protect the practice.
That's right.
Protect it. So, when I started seeing that, and I said, a lot of this shit is just the same thing going over and over, and all you gotta do is learn that part, and that's what the song is. It's a repeat of what it was already going.
It becomes rote. Right? You know, if you listen to blues has this progression, 1, 4, 5. I swear to God, if you know 1, 4, 5 progression, you can play any blues.
Yep.
It doesn't matter which one it is. You might change the rhythm a little bit, change the syncopation a little bit or whatever, but it's going to be 1, 4, 5. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That's how simple music is.
Exactly. But I'm so happy they make it seem more difficult. So everybody don't do it.
Well, everybody I've heard, they say it's easy to become a medical doctor. But he has
you gotta know music.
A PhD in music. Yeah.
You gotta know music. Music is so important.
It opens up your horizons. It just opens your brain up too.
It does.
From what I read. Right?
No, it does. It really does. I remember when my daughter and I were sitting in. She liked to sing, but I would sing to her as a baby. Because I would say, Anaya can count to 100 by 10. Yes, she can. Anaya can count to 100 by 10. Yes, she can. Yes, she can. Yes, she can. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Anaya counted to 100 by 10s. Yes, she did. And she was just a little baby.
Oh, yeah.
And I would just keep repeating it to her. And she remembered that. And then I would take a song and I would just take that whole melody and I would sing it to her and put my words to it.
Yeah. See, it just translates.
That's what I would do to her. Yeah. So then I remember.
Very nice. I love that.
Oh yeah, it was a beautiful thing. So then Anaya and I were in Puerto Vallarta, and at that time she would sing and okay, that's fine. And I said, okay, good girls graduate from high school, good girls graduate from college, good girls graduate from law school, and good girls pass the bar. I said, then you can do whatever you want. So she's 7 years old, and I'm telling her that, and she's like, you ruined my life!
Because she's seen everybody else's life.
She's only 7, she ain't seen nobody else's life.
Well, yeah, she compares it to her 7-year-old friend. Kids are so smart. They're sponges, right? Anything you put in front of them, they just... No matter the good or bad or indifferent, don't matter.
Yeah. So I'm looking at her. We're in Puerto Vallarta. The sun is behind us. I have a glass of mimosa. And I said, pray tell, how did I ruin your life?
You she ain't got like you.
What the fuck is your life ruined? We in freaking Mexico.
She probably should have said the trajectory of my life, huh? If she's going to say anything.
She didn't know that. So then, and she's like, I said, how did I ruin? I said, pray tell, how did I ruin your life? I want to be a singer.
You still be a singer.
I said, okay, you can be a singer. I said, but you're going to have to learn. And I was about to say one instrument, but I knew how her voice was at 7. And I was like, shit, because she wasn't no Christina Aguilera. She wasn't no one of them little child prodigy singers that had that damn voice. There was somebody some of these kids that could like belt them out. That wasn't a Naya.
It wasn't natural.
No, I was like,
Just like Janet Jackson. Janet Jackson couldn't sing a lick when she started singing.
I said, you're going to have to learn 2 instruments. And I'm like, goddamn, you're going to be like a Nina Simone with that piano. Drummer man and fiddle man and ball line. I'm feeling good. You got to be playing and I said, you got to learn 2. You got to learn violin and piano. She said, okay. And that's when we got back from Mexico, and I signed her up for these classes. And we started going, and that meant I had to go. And I had her in.
You was learning it too.
I was learning it too.
I love it.
And that was my life. I would go, and I remember one time her piano teacher was like, she's not really practicing enough. I said, let me tell you something. She comes here, and perhaps she's going to tell you things that she don't tell me. This is her therapy. I need her to have this. So it's okay. I'm going to pay you. She's going to do the best she can do. I'm not trying to get her to be the next prodigy. This is her. This is where she goes, where she can feel that she can trust somebody and she can just bang it out. And whether it's okay.
Thank God you just didn't give up a night to the damn society. You know what these other young kids our age do or don't do. You know.
Mm-mm.
But I knew it wasn't going down like that in the first place. I know what was coming.
I said, this is her music therapy, and she's gonna have her music therapy.
Yeah.
And I kept taking her, and then we went from violin to guitar, and then next thing I know, she was at Cass Tech, and she got into the choir program.
Now she's gonna learn voicing, internal.
Now
voicing.
she's learning voice.
Internal voicing. Yeah.
Now they train her. And then with that, I told her music teacher, she got to get that shit together. So
but piano has already taught her.
So piano taught her. So then
taught her.
I told her teacher, I said, listen, she has taken piano lessons since she was 7. She has? I said, yeah. She should be able to tell you, she should be able to practice. If somebody is singing, she can play on the piano for them.
Yeah.
So I guess the first year she didn't do that. He didn't remember that. The next year I went to him and I said, "What's going on with the piano?" And the next thing I know, he had her playing the piano for the other students.
No kidding.
Yeah, because she could do it. I'm like, she knows them damn chords. She's just progressive. She really is progressive. So I'm just proud of her.
So she's still playing. Well, she's playing volleyball, right?
No, she's in lacrosse.
Oh, lacrosse.
She did volleyball in her first year. Then her second and third year, first and second year, she did lacrosse. She does lacrosse.
So you know what I just love about how she's already switched these many times? People are full of talent, but they may never be able to know what those talents are if they're not exposed to them, engaged in them, and so on and so forth. So the fact that she's engaged in these different things, she knows what she loves the most. She knows what she loves the most. And
yeah.
I'm probably quite sure you probably know too, because mothers know their kids more than the kids know themselves.
I mean, I'm okay. Whatever she wants to do, I'm not pushing her. That's not where my push is. My push is for her. I don't want her to think that everybody is against her because of her race.
Oh.
I don't want her to think that everybody is. I don't want her to have that. I think it's a handicap. Because there's certain people you're going to have to trust. Because there have been white people I've had to trust, you know what I'm saying? Who have helped me.
You got to take a risk.
Right. So don't think that everybody is against you because of your skin color. Because you're black.
And when those risks don't play out, you'll know it, right?
Right, but it's okay. But you got to just keep. So that's my thing that I want her to know, take a person, find out who they are. Don't just assume because you're black, you are automatically at a disadvantage. Because you ain't at a fucking disadvantage. Mm-hmm. I got you out there hanging with the best of these motherfuckers.
Well, that's right. Look at her mother.
Right. I got you out here with the best of them. Right. So fuck the bull. Don't be coming back. I can't get in because I'm black. Fuck, I don't even want to hear that bullshit.
Yeah, you could hang around with those.
Right.
You
see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I don't fucking want to hear. I don't want to fucking hear that at all. No, you are good enough. You've been here. And that's why I've taken her around the fucking world so you can get up and talk. Say, no, I've been here, blah, 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 blah. Now you can compare cruise ships. Well, no, Princess is this, Holland is this, Norwegian is this.
No, and these places are like this. I mean, she's a walking history book now.
Did we do this?
We did.
We talked about it? We talked about the pro?
We got some more P's too now. Now that we done talked about all of this.
Okay.
We started there, but we went on kind of on a tangent.
We did.
But it's okay.
But we talking about
Geometry, trigonometry.
And then what's the P? What's the P? What's the pi?
Yeah.
3.14.
3.14.
3.14. I remember pi.